Thank you.
Nadie te conoce like family does. Because some things are beyond translation. Pero we know the language the valley talks. Like how you know
And good evening and welcome to Edinburgh. We're at the southern tip of Texas to bring you exciting USL Championship soccer. Tonight's game pits the Rio Grande Valley Toros against the high-octane Colorado Springs Switchbacks. And it's good to have you with us. I'm Mark May with Brian Smith, coming to you from beautiful HEB Park here on ESPN+. And Brian, tell us about our players to watch here tonight.
Beginning with visiting Colorado Springs. There is your player to watch, Haji Berry. And I think he's somebody that everyone across the USL has their eye on. Just picked up Player of the Month for the month of August. Second time this year he's been selected as Player of the Month, having done so back in June. 21 goals on the year, fast approaching the USL single season record, which currently stands at 25. Keep your eyes on him. He is a dynamic scorer. He's quick, he's crafty, and he can really put a hurt on a defense. Back on the other side, the host, UTRGV Toros, and there's your man, Rodrigo Lopez. That's a midfielder with all kinds of talent. Currently leads the Toros in chances created at 45. That is nearly double anyone else on this team. But more important than that, he gets this offense started for them at the midfield. 60% of his passes are successful when going more than 25 yards, which is a phenomenal stat when you think about the ability to distribute the ball long distance like that. So as he goes with that distribution, so go the Toros. We'll take a look at your starting lineups now, beginning with the visiting Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Not a lot of surprises here. Melvin in goal, Hodge, Ockford, Mahoney, Torres, Makaya, Lewis, Zandy, Among, and then Haji Berry and Anderson, the other two forwards. Four-forward setup for the Switchbacks in this one. For host UTRGV, Tyler Derrick really coming on to get in goal. Spectacular job for them. He is their solid defensive back line. Manley, Cabezas, Diaz-Pez, Sorto, Flores, Yakaza, Jay, Azokar Lopez, and Amo. Let's look at your keys as this one continues. For the Switchbacks, it's going to be about keeping the ball moving. When you're looking at a team like Colorado Springs that's so dynamic offensively, they also tend to lead in time of possession. But when you slow down, you're not moving the ball, it can really break up your ability to attack. I think that's what you saw the last time these two teams squared off, which was a 1-1 draw. They spent a little too much time controlling the ball, not enough time feeding those dynamic scores. And then for the Toros, keep that positive top being time of possession. You look through the last couple of games for the Toros, they've allowed their opponent to really just kind of sit over the ball and dictate the pace of play. So look for the Toros to try to get a little more aggressive, get that time of possession in their own favor, which allows them to be the more aggressive team looking for scoring opportunities.
And speaking of scoring opportunities, the Switchbacks among the best in the league at creating those. They're the second highest scoring team in the league. Last time they were here, they put 5 goals on the board, and we'll see what happens tonight. There should be some fireworks on both sides. Let's take a break. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly. My goodness. I can see myself eating this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. It's back, and it's only for a limited time.
And we're back at HEB Park, just about set for kickoff. It'll be the Switchbacks on the right side wearing the teal and black, and then you can see the Toros festooned in the white and blue kits. The Toros, by the way, winless in their last 7 matches. That's their longest winless streak of the year. Just 3 draws and 4 losses. In fact, they picked up just 3 of a possible 21 points that they've earned since August the 8th. Colorado Springs, a little better, 2-1-2 in their last 5 games. They picked up 8 points, and they've moved up at the ladder in the Mountain Division. Where do they stand, Brian?
So looking over at the Switchbacks, they're now currently in 3rd place, level in points with San Antonio. The difference, though, for them has been the goal difference, as they don't quite have as positive a standing there as San Antonio. But the Toros currently in 5th with just 31 points, trailing 4th place by 1 point. And that's important to keep in mind because the top 4 teams will make the playoffs. So the Toros got to do a little work now, moving themselves up in the standings in the Mountain Division and a chance to go to the USL playoffs.
I know they enter tonight trailing the Austin Bold by 1 point. Austin's playing tonight up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so if Austin were to draw or lose and the Toros produce a win tonight, they can leapfrog Austin Bold into 4th place and be in that last playoff position. Yeah, right now, if the playoffs began tomorrow, the Switchbacks would be playing San Diego Loyal out of the Pacific Division, where they're the 2nd place team. Toros would be out of the playoff picture at the moment. But still a ways to go, about 8 games left in the season, which will go to the end of October. This is Babakar Jay about to throw it in for the Toros. And Brian, you know, we were noticing in the lineup for the Toros tonight, they went with a 3-man back line. The last 2 times they played the Switchbacks, they've had either 4 or 5 on the back. Why do you think they're going with 3?
I think that's a move to bring one more player into the midfield, and that allows you to be the more aggressive team. You're controlling the pace of play in the center. It also gives you a chance to go one-on-one offense for offense. So the Toros, a team that's been really good defensively across the year, is now going to bank on being able to just trust those 3 backline defenders to be that safety net and allow the midfielders to really get out there, be aggressive, and as we talked about, take advantage of that time of possession, be the controlling factor in the midfield.
Yeah, if the Switchbacks, the longer they have it, the more chances they have to score, which they've done in droves this year. A free kick here won by Emilio Icaza. And it looks like Icaza will take the free kick here for the Toros. Going to send this into the penalty area, header, and it goes over the top of the bar. But a nice, promising look there early on there for the Toros.
That's a great touch for Icaza, and he places it right on Christian Sorto, who actually does a nice job of timing his jump. Caught that probably a little higher off the crown of his head than he wanted to, and that's why it carries over the top. But that is a very exciting look for the Toros early on to get that kind of strike.
Sorto, in fact, leads the team in shots, came in with 45. Picking up another one there, not a shot on target, of course. Sean Melvin has a couple of shutouts this season as the Switchbacks goalkeeper. Of course, the Switchbacks favoring offense quite a bit, so Melvin forced to make saves quite often. Came in with 42. Switchbacks moving into the Toros into the field now. Now forced to play it back a little bit. And it's sent forward there by Jimmy Ockford. And a free kick is won.
You see the Switchbacks already trying to feed that ball into Haji Berry. He's so dynamic. They're going to work through him.
Yeah, Berry, as you mentioned, leading the league with 21 goals. In fact, he's 7 goals ahead of the second place scorer, Cicerone from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So might say he's probably a shoo-in for the Golden Boot this year.
I think everybody kind of feels that way looking at the way he plays. And then when you think about the way Barry plays, it's just so sweet to watch the way that he's able to distribute, to set his teammates up. And then when it looks like the opponent is really starting to kind of lull away, he breaks out for big points. He can score early. He scored as early as the 2nd minute. He scored as late as the 90th minute. Anytime you give him space to operate, he can really put you in a rough spot.
Here the Toros put on some pressure in the backfield, able to generate a turnover. They got the throw in, and Elvis Amo sends it over to Icaza. Now Juan Carlos Azucar will return it to Icaza, who will play it back.
I like what we're seeing from the Toros here, working back and forth as well. Both sides of the pitch finding some room to work.
And Sorto tries the cross. It's going to go off the defender and out, but a corner kick won for the Toros. I think the defender on that play, Philip Mayaka, out of Kenya.
And that's actually defended really well from Mayaka. As a defender, sometimes you can kind of overextend. You're chasing that ball down. You can over-pursue and allow a cross to come in behind you. He did a nice job of running to it, staying wide, and forcing that to deflect off of him rather than a cross developing right into a sweet spot in the center of the box.
Here's Icaza will try the corner kick, a header toward the goal, and still in play. And now out, it looks like another corner kick one for the Toros. I think it was Amo who was able to get a header on this.
It puts it in a really good spot, and then give a lot of credit kind of continuing to attack there from Frank Lopez, one of the newer additions to this roster. Does a nice job of staying over the ball and making sure that goes off of a switchback.
Icaza, another in-swinger. This is close, and a header goes over the bar. Chance there for the Toros. That looks like Juan Carlos Azucar. No, it was number 5. That's Juan David Cabezas.
Look at Cabezas right here. The timing on this is really nice. Times it. That's too low for him to catch off the crown of his head. So what does he do? He lowers the head and gets it off his forehead, trying to get a bounce past the keeper, Melvin. That is very difficult to do in live action. Made a great effort.
So Toros with some shots here early on. Unable to get one on frame, but certainly cause for concern for the Switchbacks. I think if you remember when the last time these two teams played here at HEB Park in mid-August, the Toros scored first, but it would be the Switchbacks with 4 goals in the second half that eventually won that game 5-2.
That's an important thing to watch as well. Remember, the Toros are 5-2-2 when they score first at home. So a big key for their success all season has been the ability to set the tone, be the first to score, force your opponent to come chasing you from behind.
Oh, nice back heel there by Jose Torres for the Switchbacks. Torres with the ball now. Gonna send it all the way to the opposite side. Jay is there. He's able to head it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in now for Colorado Springs. Jay winning the ball there. And then his through ball is stolen back, and here's a chance for the Switchbacks. Carter Manley forced to clear it. Now 2 players have collided, both of them down and hurting at midfield.
Torres and Amo both remaining very aggressive, trying to get to that ball, and they collide pretty violently right in front of it. We'll take another look right here. And that's just Manley clearing that ball away as a defender. You want to get it as far out as you can, and that booming kick drops into a good spot. And you see right there, Amo and Torres, they both had their eyes on the ball, not on each other. And they collide.
And a hard fall by Torres there, too, from way up.
Looks like neither is worse for the wear. That's a good sign.
And technically a foul on Torres, so it's a free kick here for the Toros. Playing it back to Tyler Derrick. Derrick out of Houston has had a stint with the Houston Dynamo in the MLS. Now another player down. This is from Colorado Springs, the defender Tristan Hodge, who's from Trinidad and Tobago.
That's going to earn a yellow for Elvis Amo. So you got both teams really aggressive early on. We'll take another look right here. Hodge coming forward. I'll see Amo kind of caught him with that kind of elbow forearm a little bit high up on the chest, neck area. as he's trying to gain position. Little
Yeah.
gentle tap.
Just tap with the elbow.
Let's see explanation being given to Cabezas.
Cabezas wearing the captain's armband tonight. There's Amo. You know, something interesting about Amo is he's second on the team in fouls conceded, which is unusual for a forward, isn't it?
It's a little unusual, and I think the reason you see that forward is Amo is one of those forwards that wants to remain aggressive. With the ball's at his feet, he wants to make something happen. And when you're a player that wants to do that, you're prone to perhaps get yourself into less than favorable situations to work out of. And as he continues to be aggressive, ends up picking up some fouls there as he's doing some things, trying to clear space, trying to keep the ball off the foot of the defender. Being a little over-aggressive can come back to burn you.
Yeah, he has 28 fouls conceded coming in. I think the next highest forward has only like 14. Team leader is Eric Pimentel with 34, which you would expect, him being a defender, often playing center back. He's going to be in a lot of physical tussles. Carter Manley will take this free kick. Manley from Maryland. And the Toros send this down, but trying to get it to Sorto, but will be played out by Hodge. Now Switchbacks trying to manufacture an attack here on the left side. They send it down. They're trying to get it ahead to Among, but the Toros defense there to head it back upfield. Now Makaya tries the right side. This is Anderson. And he'll kind of drop it off to his teammate, Matt Mahoney. Mahoney scoring in the last game against the Toros, that 1-1 draw last week up at Widener Field in Colorado. It's Mahoney who got the goal for the Switchbacks. Here's a chance here for the Toros. Coming right down the middle. Here's Frank Lopez. He's shot. It's going to go out. It was Hodge with the dive there to deflect the ball out of play. Nice defensive move there by Hodge.
Spectacular sliding tackle from Tristan Hodge. Taking a look right here. I mean, he's the only thing between Frank Lopez and a goal. And remember, Lopez has Elvis Amo trailing to his left, so he could touch it off here. And Hodge commits to protecting that outside corner. Spectacular slide. Got down so he wouldn't draw a foul. Did a nice job of just pushing that wide, keeping the Switchbacks out of a really scary situation.
Ikaza with the corner kick, headed up by the Toros and then headed out by the Switchbacks. The Toros gaining possession here, but there's going to be a foul call. This will be a Switchbacks free kick. th minute, no score yet. Toros have had the better chances so far. Here's a chance now for the Switchbacks. Right side of the area, this is Barry. Barry getting control, sends it into the middle where it's kicked out. Was trying to get it to Among. That was the best chance so far for the Switchbacks.
And that developed very quickly. That's a great look at what makes this Switchback offense so dynamic, is they can create scoring opportunities at the flip of a switch, and you saw it right there. Toros doing a nice job defensively, but the Switchbacks just finding ways to get good looks.
Offsides on the Switchbacks here. Yeah, Barry came in with 40 chances created. So he's not just a goal poacher, but he can set up his teammates as well. This will be a free kick by Ispe. It's from Cuba. Two Cubans on this Toros team, Frank Lopez being the other one. This goes out on Amo, so this will be a throw-in now for the Switchbacks. Both teams entering tonight looking to get back in the win column. Both have 2 consecutive draws. So haven't been playing poorly, but both of them want to kick it up just another notch so they can come away with 3 points here tonight. Switchbacks, their last outing was Wednesday night at a 0-0 draw with El Paso, only the 3rd time this season that they've been held scoreless. Wrong shot by Lewis. Keeper comes out, and the flag has gone up. It's offside. That was Among who was there playing the ball, and of course Derek taking no chances.
Great job by Derek of staying on top of that. Among was 5 or 6 steps behind the line, but you can never put your complete faith that the backline official was watching the entire time as the keeper. You've got to make sure you go ahead and play the ball. But that flag went up pretty quick.
Second offside call already on the Switchbacks. We take a look at Frank Lopez, just joined the team a few games ago from Oklahoma City Energy. He's already paying dividends as he had a goal last week in that draw with Colorado Springs. Scored in the 80th minute against a 10-man Switchbacks team as Jimmy Ockford had picked up a red right at the end of halftime. Here's Barry. It's kicked away from him by Asokar. Ball bouncing around like it's in a pinball machine at the moment as Ikaza gets control and finds Sorto. Asokar looking to get it upfield, no one there. Referee's going to play the advantage here, and the Switchbacks put it into touch.
Switchbacks continue to do a really nice job of staying back and preventing the Toros from working past them. That's where the Toros have found some success over the last couple of games. When they get goals, it's from finding the ability just to get that through ball, squeeze past the defense. You're seeing the Switchbacks doing a nice job of staying back and making sure they've got a couple of those dark jerseys kind of hanging around that back line to ensure nothing gets over or past them.
Toros tried to get it to Frank Lopez. The Switchbacks defense able to dispossess him. They've got the throw in here. This is Hodge. Down to Among. Among gets 2 defenders here. Now 3 defenders on him. And the throw-in goes to the Switchbacks.
Gotta love that effort by Among, just fighting through, remaining aggressive, doing a nice job keeping your team active, especially when you're in a good opposition point to get a strike.
And Hodge sends this back. It's kind of in that no man's land. Tough spot for the Switchbacks. Sent it too far for the defense and a little too, it wasn't close enough to the keeper either. Nice sliding tackle. That's going to be called a foul, though. That was Zandy. He's picking up a yellow card as well.
It's a tough spot for Zandy. It looked like he was going to be the first one to get the ball. He decides to go to the turf, trying to slide that one away. But you take a look right here, his timing just a little bit off, and he ends up right at the feet of Lopez. Sometimes the smarter decision to make there is when you slide to kind of slide away from the attacking player to ensure you get your body away from their feet. That time he laid down right at the feet, and he'll draw the yellow.
Zandy, a midfielder from Pennsylvania, just his second yellow of the year. And it looks like it'll be Cabezas to take this free kick. Cabezas wearing the captain's armband tonight for the Toros. Going to play it safe off to the side where it goes to Flores, and now Jay has it. Vicar Jay, play it back to Dispe. Long pass to Manley. Switchbacks putting in some pressure. It's kicked away from Ikaza, but it goes to the feet of Lopez, Frank Lopez. And he'll lob it to Jay now on the left side. Jay moving against Anderson. Able to send it into the area, but nobody there as the Switchbacks able to clear it. And this is going to be a foul on Ikaza and a free kick for Colorado Springs.
Good job defensive there by Zandy. Not over pursuing. As that long pass came over, he had a really nice angle. Was able to get there into a good spot, and the collision he has there with Ikaza. That's 2 players running full speed, closing down on the ball. No ill intent, though, as those 2 high-five and shake hands after, back to action.
A quick note, by the way, the Rio Grande Valley Toros hold the league record of 8 consecutive shutouts that they set back in 2016, their inaugural year, 759 total minutes. And we'll tell you more about that in a moment here as the Toros with a chance. The ball goes into the area. This is Lopez, has it kicked away from him by the Switchbacks, and this will go out for a corner kick. Well, anyway, Tampa Bay Rowdies have manufactured 7 consecutive shutouts coming into tonight, and they were playing out on the East Coast, and I think they needed to get into the early second half with their shutout intact to break that league record held by the Toros. Do you know how they're doing, Brian?
And they have actually set that record. They needed to make it to the 49th minute. That's 4 minutes into the second half. They're currently in the 59th minute, and they hold a 2-0 lead over Atlanta United.
There's a hitter right at the goal, but Melvin there for the save. The first shot at the net by the Toros, who are having some effective turnaround with their corner kicks tonight. I think all 4 of them have generated something in the direction of the net.
Plenty of aggression offensively for the Toros, and I think the home faithful are happy to see that, and the Switchbacks now have got to start thinking about what they're doing. Because you can't face too many of those shots and hope to be ultimately successful. You've got to be back on the counter pretty quickly. Not to say the Switchbacks have not been aggressive. They have had some really nice opportunities, but it has been the Toros that have had the majority of the chances here over the first 20 minutes.
There's a turnover, and Barry trying to send it into the area, has it knocked away by Juan David Cabezas. Now, the Switchbacks have one of their top guns missing tonight, and Mishi Galina. Can you talk a little bit about the dynamic of Galina and Barry?
Yeah, Galina and Barry are an interesting kind of combination. The two of them account for more than 50% of the total offense for the Switchbacks. And you look at Haji Barry and you say, well, I mean, clearly, look at the amount of goals he scores, his ability to be a dynamic scorer. But I think the takeaway that you have to watch when you see Galina and Barry together is it's really Galina that really kind of sets Barry up. Barry gets the attention for scoring the goals, but Galina is the guy that creates all the chances for the Switchbacks, and he's somebody you really have to keep an eye on when the Switchbacks are seeing double and triple marks set on Barry. It's Galina, the one that seems to find a way to squeeze the ball to him through all of that defense.
Yeah, Galina, 8 goals and 8 assists, not in the lineup tonight. And we'll see how that affects the attention on Barry as the Toros dispossessing the Switchbacks here. And Jay bringing it upfield. Jay from Gambia in West Africa, just 26 years old. Seeing Jay drawing just his 4th start here tonight. He's usually has come in as a substitute most of the time. This ball goes out for a goal kick. Yeah, there was a fantastic stat we saw on the Switchbacks when we were talking about Galina and Barry, and also Deshane Beckford, who did not draw a start tonight. But those 3 men account for 66% of the total shots this year by the Colorado Springs team. We'll see how that affects their offenses. Also, God, I will send this into the middle, and a defender able to knock it clear and concede yet another corner kick.
Good decision by Azokar, working forward, allowed that back defender Hodge to really just kind of trail him right to the hip. And then once Hodge squared himself up, then Azokar bent that around, looking for some help in the middle. That's a really nice look at developing a cross deep in the attack.
Ikaza to take the corner once again, from St. Petersburg, Florida, recently picked up from the Austin Bold. Send this into the area. Another hitter at the net. And this will go just wide. But boy, it seems like the Toros have the advantage in height when it comes to those crosses. They are getting a touch on almost every one of them.
That just shows just the real skill this Toros team have. And a lot of that comes from the depth of experience you see on this roster. But being able to see those plays developing in front of them and then to drop really nice crosses in the box. You got to think one of those times something's going to happen to put something in the back of the net. Plenty of opportunities early.
Melvin playing his 17th game. So from Canada, kicks it all the way up to midfield. Now there's a Toro down. This can be a free kick for RGV.
Conversation between Torres and Amo. Last foul called there on Torres is going to set up a free kick for the Toros.
See Coach Cabrera having a animated discussion with the fourth official. About halfway through the first half. No score yet, but the Toros have had the majority of chances. These two teams have played twice this year. First time was a 5-2 win for Colorado Springs. It was here at HEB Park. Then when they played last Saturday up at Widener Field, it was a 1-1 draw. So they'll have one more meeting after this one before the season is done. This is Jay with it. We'll send it back to Cabezas. Cabezas all the way to the other side to Manley. Trying to get it to Icaza. There's a good anticipation there by Toros for the switchbacks. He'll get it to Barry. Barry, ever so dangerous, finds the open man in the middle. Now it's misplayed by Toros. And a foul called against the Toros, so it'll be a free kick here in a promising position for the switchbacks.
The switchbacks have to be happy with what you're seeing from Torres here. Coach Burke gonna love this effort here by Torres. Does a nice job of using his body as a shield to protect that ball, forcing Icaza to come through him, and that's where you pick up the foul. That's just a really nice job of being heads up and trying to keep possession in favor of your team.
Jay nearly wins the ball, but does lose it out of bounds. Throw in here for Anderson and the switchbacks into the area. Ball bounces up, and I think they're going to call a handball on Barry there. He kind of took a bounce off his foot and caught his hand. You see Barry there. Came in with 21 goals to lead the league. There's Coach Brendan Burke in his first year. Head coach of the Switchbacks, a former assistant with the Philadelphia Union in the Major League Soccer. There's Sorto winning the ball here for the Toros. Here's a chance to get it to Icaza, top of the area, shot, and a score! The Toros on top, 1-0 after a great goal there by Icaza.
Icaza like a fainting goat. You see it there, just a spectacular job. In fact, a lot of Toros fans may say he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, being able to strike like that for the Toros. And that's just a perfect example of remaining aggressive while the defense is still trying to find themselves. A quick throw in there. Switchbacks found themselves just a little out of place. Quick touch, quick move. And Icaza, look at the patience right here. Allows that to carry into the box, makes Melvin commit, and is able to work around him. With three bodies closing down on you and a keeper running toward you, those are nerves of steel.
I think it was Andres Flores who got the assist. Nice feed to Icaza. And the Toros with their aggression in the midfield, and you mentioned they had the extra man in the midfield, able to generate a turnover and then a quick counterattack.
That is a very positive sign for Coach Cabrera and this Toros team. You make that switch to your schematic. You bring in the extra midfielder, trusting your backline defenders to do what they do so well. And it's paid off dividends here early.
And for Icaza, his first goal in a Toros uniform. As we mentioned, he came over, was picked up from the Austin Bowl. This just his third game with the Toros. He has one goal and one assist now. 26th minute goal there for Icaza. Switchbacks on the move here. There's Anderson, sent it into the area, headed out by Dispe. Switchbacks will have a throw in. And they've got Lewis, Barry, and Among up there in the area. This is Barry right here, trying to get turned, finds Anderson, sends it into the middle. Icaza got a foot on it, and then it's cleared away by Asokar.
Nice job of working through that pinball effect. That could have been dangerous, but Azokar using that athleticism and the heads-up play to get a foot on that and make sure you clear it away, because there were a couple of switchbacks in a good spot to put a play on that.
There's Among trying to get turned, unable to do so, finds Barry. Had two markers on him. He'll send it to Anderson. And a nice job there, tackled away by Babakar Jay. Jay making the most of his start here tonight. And he'll get it over to Cabezas. Broke up a dangerous attack there. There's Manley at the center back. And he'll find Asokar. Asokar has 6 goals, second on the team. They're playing on the back line here tonight. Pretty versatile player, can play any of the positions on the defender, midfield, or forward.
That's one of the things that Coach Cabrera was talking about coming into the year when he was looking for additions to this roster. He was looking for players, A, that had experience, but players that had the athleticism and the physicality to play anywhere on the pitch, because it gives you the ability to kind of plug and play, change your scheme, change what you're showing your opposition. Azokar is a perfect example of that, a very physical player. He can play on the front line, he can play in the middle, and if he needs to, he can play on the back line.
He's doing a good job there tonight. And of course, as the game, the situation changes, you might see Azokar move upfield more if the Toros need a goal late. Long pass intended for Among. Manley there. Manley falls down. Among slides it. Oh, and a save made there by Derek. Among trying to slide it to his teammate for what would have been a completely open net. And Manley is down at the moment. It was Lewis, by the way, who would have gotten this goal opportunity.
But look at Tyler Derrick just jumping in that lane. Did a nice job of reading it. And then like an apex predator, jumps out in that passing lane, pulls that in. Nice job of continuing. That's the second time we've seen from Derrick where he plays through the play. Something negative has happened to one of his defenders, but he doesn't stop and try to champion for a call. Instead, he stays active, continues to play through. And that's what you really need out of your keeper, somebody that's always locked in defensively, singly focused, and you see it there. And then ultimately the call comes after he stopped the ball.
So there's Frank Lopez. Here's a whistle behind the play. Switchback player shaken up. Looks like this will be a free kick for the Switchbacks. We see Coach Brendan Burke. I think Brian Burke was a hockey coach.
Get another look here. Again, Elvis Amo aggressive, trying to get ahead on that, and in the process of coming down, gets one of his appendages across the face of Ockford there. So he'll get some additional admonishment from the referee.
Had 12 fouls called in the first 30 minutes here. 6 on each team, so it has been quite balanced. So we take a look at Amo, who's leading the Toros with 8 goals scored this season, including 4 in his last 5 games. Did not score last week in the 1-1 draw with the Switchbacks. You can see Ockford there with a disagreement with the official.
Continue to explain his perspective on what occurred.
I think he might have some blood or something. They're sending him to the sideline to have that addressed, I believe. Ockford wearing the captain's armband tonight. And Ockford was the one who drew the red card against the Toros last Saturday in Colorado. Had to sit out the entire second half. And eventually the Toros able to score the equalizer about 10 minutes from time. Then Ockford served his 1-game penalty midweek in the 0-0 draw against El Paso. We're back in action now, 33rd minute, closing in on the end of the first half. 1-0 Toros. Gaza with the goal, his first as a Toro. Switchbacks send this one out of bounds, so this will be a throw-in now for RGV. RGV, by the way, leading the all-time series between these two teams. 6-2 with 3 draws, and 4 wins and only 1 loss at HEB Park.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forward-forever-proud.
Spey tried a long pass intended for Frank Lopez, but the Switchbacks defense was ready. Toros have it again now. This is Ikaza, the goal scorer. Ikaza looking for a through ball to return it to Azokar, who's come up from his defensive back position. This a little too far for him. It'll be a goal kick. But we were talking about that, how Azokar being so versatile, you can look for him just about anywhere on the pitch.
Yeah, think about the amount of field he covered there. He's a backline defender and worked his way all the way forward to the attacking portion of the schematic. That is a spectacular move, and it just shows not only the trust that Coach Cabrera has in him, but his sheer athleticism to cover that space and then still be in a position to get back to help his team defensively.
There's Barry with it, able to turn, send it ahead to Lewis. Kicked away from him, back to the keeper, Derek. Nice job by Spade there at the left back spot. Switchbacks, another chance here. You can see Barry had 3 markers converge on him as soon as he got the ball. So definitely a marked man as Manley kicks this upfield, but a chance here for the Switchbacks. Spade with the sliding tackle. Then it's sent ahead to Sorto, and Sorto a long pass, and here's a 2-on-2 opportunity. Up at Amo, unable to gain control, and it was kicked away by Ockford. So a chance here for the Switchbacks. Also caught a little bit too aggressive there, and this will be a free kick at midfield for Colorado Springs.
Azokar sliding in there. See, trying to do a nice job of staying behind Zandy, keep Zandy from turning that corner. But as Zandy spins, Azokar's feet are right there to kind of trip him up. But that's not a bad defensive move for Azokar to ensure you keep that player right on your hip so he doesn't have space to run away.
Be curious to see the halftime stats and the time of possession for these two teams as we see another sliding tackle there. That's whistled for a foul. This one's going to be on Cabezas. But we were talking about how Colorado Springs is among the league leaders in time of possession.
In fact, the last time these two teams played over in Colorado Springs at the half, the Switchbacks had possessed the ball 69% of the time in the first half, almost doubling up the Toros in time of possession in the first half. Little different story here.
You see a free kick in a promising position here for the Switchbacks. See Sorto standing on the line. Has to be 10 yards back. So Anderson and Toros standing over the ball. Looks like it'll be Anderson to take the kick. He's going to send it into the area, headed out by the defense. Switchbacks regain control. Makaya going to give it a go. And just too far, a little too ambitious there. It goes wide of the net.
What a bad decision, I think, for the Switchbacks. There's Mayaka has seen his team not get a lot of good looks on goal. The Toros were giving him plenty of space, almost kind of daring him to make something happen. And he says, okay, I'll take a shot from there. That one got up in the jet stream and carried a little bit left, but I think that's a great move. Continue to apply pressure from the Toros. And if he had put that on goal, that could have been a really tough call for Derek to make in goal, to track that all the way.
Derek, 33 years old, came in with 39 saves. Missed a few games in the mid part of the year, and Colin Miller, the backup, did an excellent job in his place. Chance here for the Toros. This is Flores, then loses possession, and the Switchbacks will send it forward. That was Zandy sending it into the offensive zone. Got about 8 minutes and change left here in the first half.
And Diaz-Pay does a nice job defensively there of just clearing that one out. The Switchbacks were really starting to press forward, and he wasn't going to be in a pretty good position to get back defensively if he didn't get ahead on that. So he had a Switchback that was already ready to take off running if that got past him.
Yeah, Toros defense has done an excellent job. Mayaka's shot just a moment ago from well outside the area. Only the first shot the Switchbacks have managed to generate so far. Nearly 38 minutes of play. This is one of the teams that leads the league in total shots. Mayaka sends it softly over to Mahoney. And now Anderson. Nice move on Jay. Goes back to Ockford. Switchbacks content to pass it around right now. Looking for the opening. Almost a chance there as Amon comes crashing out. Derek makes the save. And then it's cleared out of play by the Toros. And now a chance on a counter for the Toros. It goes off the back foot of Lopez. And the Switchbacks gain control. Mahoney sends it up to midfield. Lewis trying to turn. So just as I mentioned that the Switchbacks had many shots, they get one. And Derek forced to make another good save. And now free kick awarded to the Switchbacks. This is Among who drew the foul.
Really impressed with Among here in the first half. He has been very dynamic at not only moving with the ball, but his ability to dribble through contact, around contact, has put the Switchbacks in a couple of really good opportunities. And see, they're going to get a free kick in a really nice spot right here. So Jose Torres will get a chance to chip this ball over toward the box.
Among, just 23 years old, from Cameroon, has 2 goals this year. Looks like it'll be Jose Torres, the midfielder, to take the free kick. He's a veteran, 33 years old. You can see Derek well off his line right now. They send this in, top of the area. Headed out. Now the Toros able to work it upfield. This is Hodge. He'll send it back to his center back, Mayaka. Now Switchbacks try to get it going forward again. That's Among right there. A little too heavy on that first touch. Gets it to his teammate Zandi. And now Barry with it. Barry, a little through ball there to Zandi. And a nice sliding tackle there by the Toros. That was Asokada. And Asokada even getting up to hustle after the ball to keep it from going out. Heads up play there by Asokada.
We said Azokar spent a significant amount of the early part of this season playing in the midfield, playing forward. He can play defense. Take a look at it right there. Very physical, but physical without being aggressive to the point of drawing a foul or drawing a card. And then you would talk about athleticism. Through contact, jumps up, and still goes and runs that ball down in the quarter to build the counter for the Toros.
Wow. Long ball sent down. Among goes down in a heap along with Manley. And they're going to give Manley a yellow card, I believe.
And Manley and Among kind of arm in arm as that ball went into the air, and as they continue to hang on each other's hips, they end up falling to the pitch in the process. And a little conversation as Coach Brendan Burke going to get an explanation of what occurs here as you see Manley and Among just all wrapped up. Among goes down, Manley on top of him. And I think Coach Burke is probably making the argument that the Toros have continued to play really aggressive defense. He's probably asking for something a little more than just gentle acknowledgement or admonishment, but I think in this case that was a really good call there.
So free kick here for the Switchbacks. Looks like it'll be Torres to take it. Only one defender in front of him. That's going to be Flores. Send this top of the area. Amo there. Stands over 6 feet tall, able to get his head on the ball. Mayaka plays it to Anderson. Switchbacks back on the move into the area, and Derek is there to corral that one. So again, the Switchbacks with a promising opportunity, but unable to generate any shots at the net.
I think you're starting to see that transition of control shift back over toward the Switchbacks. They've been the aggressor over the last 2 or 3 minutes.
That'll go out. It'll be Switchbacks throw in. 2.5 minutes and change left in the first half. Throw in to Anderson, able to get by his marker Ikaza. Ball ricochets off his Jay, and now the Toros on a counter. This is Flores with it. Forced to play it back to Cabezas, and he'll get it to Ikaza. Ikaza with a nice little through ball. And Frank Lopez unable to get turned, but he's going to draw the foul. And it'll be a free kick in a dangerous position here for the Toros.
Look at Lopez just working right here, spinning, dribbling through contact. And see Torres just catches his heel as Lopez is coming around. So that's where the foul comes from. Best spot the Toros have had in a couple of minutes now. So they're just out of the box.
Looks like it'll be a four-man wall for the Switchbacks. And it's also God up from his right back position. Looks like he's going to take this kick. You mentioned he has 6 goals on the season, second on the team. He's going to give it a go at the net and just wide of the right post. But he launched a rocket there.
He's got a pretty strong right leg. You got a good look at it there. And that was actually placed really well. You saw Melvin did a nice job of reading that all the way over. Anytime that the keeper has to kind of second guess whether that's going to be on goal, you know that that's a pretty good placement for a free kick.
Oxford sends it upfield for the Switchbacks. Oxford here will have to play it back to his keeper, Melvin. Oxford, experienced defender, 29 years old. And Melvin, good size for a keeper, 6'4", 200 pounds. Worked it to Lewis. Lewis forced to play it back. The Toros with some good pressure here in the late first half. All the way upfield, and then Manley collides with Among. Among appears hurt. Play continues. Gabesas will play this back, and now I think the official has blown his whistle. No foul was called on the play, but stopping the play for the injury. Looks like we'll have a couple of extra minutes here in the first half.
If there's anyone that has earned some rest at halftime, it's going to be Among. He has been in some collisions. You see he and Manley getting mixed up there. Among able to get a head on it just briefly. Needed a minute to kind of compose himself. Feels like he spent more time on the grass than he has standing up. The Toros have been very physical with him.
He might need a visit to the chiropractor in the next few days. He's fallen down hard on his back a couple of times. See, Among, we mentioned he's from Cameroon, 5'7", 172 pounds. Back to action now. About 1 minute left in stoppage.
The winner will be announced at the 80th minute. Find a seller in a line green vest to get your ticket.
There's Despay is going to kick this upfield. A little header there by Flores, and it goes to Azócar. Amo tries to get it to Cabezas. Now they're working it to Sorto. Good first touch by Sorto, but the defense able to kick it away from him, and that was Mayaka. Mayaka will send it upfield. Toros, one more opportunity here. Long ball intended for Flores, kicked away by the Switchbacks. That was a Hodge there with good defending.
We think of the Switchbacks as being this really dynamic offensive team, but look at the great defense they're playing here. So Toros have been by far the aggressive for most of the first half, but the Switchbacks have played some really strong defense.
Off of the Switchbacks, and this will be the Toros throw in. Yeah, I'm wondering if Colorado Springs missing Galena. They seem to lack a little bit of cohesion on their offense tonight. All the way to the open side of the field. This is Jay with it. We're over 2 minutes now, so only seconds remain. Toros send it to Azócar. Toros trying to generate one more shot. Here's Amo with it, with some space. Gonna send this into the area. That's Flores. With the shot, and it's wide. Just wide. Flores with a nice turn and a fire. Couldn't quite get it.
It's a beautiful job with the heel touch there to get it to Lopez. So he tries to come back left to give himself a better angle. That carries just a little bit wide.
This will likely be the last kick of the first half. And there it is. No kick, actually. It's 1-0 here at the break on the strength of Ikaza's goal in the 26th minute. Coming up at halftime, we'll check around with what's going on around the rest of the league in the USL Championship. We'll also have some halftime stats and halftime highlights for you. All that coming up here after the break. It's 1-0 Toros as we go to halftime. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on. What are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow, creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
Working together. Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
And welcome back to HEB Park. Toros on top, 1-0. Let's start our halftime report.
Appreciation to our halftime sponsor, Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the RGV Toros. Lots of action here in the first half, but there's plenty of action across the USL this week. Let's take a moment to look at our USL recap.
First-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Tees it up, what a strike, and what a goal! Hartford has a goal!
His right-footed shot, and it's in! Knocked away.
Looking for Para, could fall for an opportunity here, the shot comes in! Oh, it's brilliant!
I did get an interesting text from someone in the Phoenix organization talking about how big and physical that game was, and maybe they didn't necessarily know it was going to be just like that. I think they got a good taste. By the way, in case you're wondering, Forrest Lasso is competing for the Summer Olympics in gymnastics. Just wanted you to know. What you got next?
Lee Cohen, he was part of that routine.
Bring it to me.
Forrest Lasso, the defender of the year, leaping over the ad boards and pirouetting his way toward the dugout.
And what else is going on in the USL, Brian?
Take a look at your Team of the Week presented by Clear Audio. We talked about the Player of the Month for last month with Haji Berry. Player of the Week in this one is Jan Ekra, along with the rest of those Players of the Week. On the bench, 2 switchbacks make the Team of the Week, Matt Mahoney and Jose Torres. Back to Ekra, and what was a spectacular start for him across this season. He continues to put up some really big numbers for Tampa Bay, who have had a really nice day today. Looking a little deeper across the schedule of games today in the USL, Pittsburgh falls to Charlotte 1-0. Loudoun United downs Indy 11 2-0. Tampa Bay, who we were just talking about, is in stoppage time in the second half. They have a current 2-0 lead over Atlanta. Oklahoma City and Birmingham went 1-1. Miami is currently trailing 1-0, and Tulsa is trailing the Austin Bold 1-0. That's a game everyone down here in the Rio Grande Valley is watching closely, as the Bold and the Toros are kind of neck and neck in those Mountain Division standings. Elsewhere around the USL, Monterey Bay made a very important announcement this week, saying that they will host an event of 2 major announcements: the groundbreaking of the USL Championship Club Stadium on the campus of California State Monterey Bay. They also announced a partnership between the club and Cardale Auto Group. The shared stadium is now called Cardale Stadium, thanks to multi-year partnerships that were developed with the investment group and Cardale Auto Group.
All right, let's take a look at the schedule coming up for the 2 teams, for Colorado Springs and for the RGV Toros. And here's what the Switchbacks have coming up. Looks like 3 of the next 5 are at home.
Yeah, and it should be a big turn now for the Switchbacks. Remember, they're between 2nd and 3rd in the standings. And who's right behind them? Well, the Austin Bold currently sitting in 4th. They'll have them. They'll have division leader El Paso coming up on the 2nd. Real Monarchs. El Paso once again, so 2 of their next 4 against the division leader. And then they'll see the Toros one last time there on October the 16th. On the other side for the Toros, the road doesn't get much easier for the Toros either. Next time out, they'll be against the Atlanta United 2. Then they'll have New Mexico United, Real Monarchs once again, another one against Mexico United. And then depending on how all that shakes out, another interesting match, as we talked about previously, the 16th, they'll have Colorado Springs. As these teams come down the final stretch looking for a playoff spot, plenty still to be decided.
Yeah, like horses at the Kentucky Derby, rounding that final turn and still jostling for space in the top 4 as we look at the standings in the Mountain Division. And you'll see there your top 4 are your playoff spots.
Yeah, you got El Paso Locomotive, who have just been playing spectacular soccer all season long. They've got a couple of point spread there, 9 points ahead of San Antonio in second. But look how tight things get from there. As we said, San Antonio and Colorado Springs knotted at 37. Goal differential, the difference between 2nd and 3rd right now. Austin Bold in 4th. The Toros just 1 point behind them. And then don't count out New Mexico United, who are within 4 points of leaping into a playoff spot.
Yeah, United has beaten Colorado Springs twice this year, so they are capable of pulling upsets and possibly getting into the race late. And well, you could see in the background there, just finished the Folklorico Dancers. September is Hispanic Heritage Month, and so they're providing some halftime entertainment right there. And speaking of entertainment, the Toros on top 1-0 over the Switchbacks here at the break. We're going to come back with some highlights and some stats for you. Don't go away. This is USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on. What are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly. My goodness. I could see myself getting this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That's back, and it's only for a limited time.
Fans here at HEB Park enjoying the action. Toros up 1-0 as we take a look at the highlights. Ryan, take us through.
Look at this action in the first half. There's your only goal in this one, Yakaza. He's excited. The Toro fans are excited. And that was just a byproduct of the fun the Toros are having out here. Lots of action going both ways. Yakaza wants to show you that another angle. Spectacular job right here. The Toros the aggressor. Another touch. Yakaza says yes. Back of the net. Great sign for the Toros early. And look at that heel pass, setting up a nice move the other way for Flores. Flores feeds Lopez, but a beautiful sliding tackle made there by Hodge coming back the other way. Colorado Springs had some really nice looks here in the second half. That was a nice job of maintaining aggressive, coming across. Tyler Derrick coming up big defensively. And this was right before half. Heel touch coming across and finding Flores, but he floats that just a little bit left.
Our stats. Oh, look at the time of possession there.
Still favored Colorado Springs, but that's a much better break than the Toros saw last time out against the Switchbacks. Remember, the Switchbacks had a 69% time of possession when they faced each other out in Colorado Springs about a week ago. So the Toros have heavily cut into that, but I think what really jumps out here, look at that shot differential. 9 shots for the Toros, just 2 for the Switchbacks. But I think what really speaks, all those shots by the Toros, look how good that Switchbacks defense has been. Only 2 of which were on target. 2 yellow cards against the Toros, 1 against the Switchbacks. I think the major point that stands out here on both sides is how great these defenses have been of limiting the other team's opportunities on net.
Yeah, the Toros have done a real good job of that, of breaking up attacks before they can get really dangerous. And for the most part, the Switchbacks have been able to do the same. And both teams, or the Toros kind of known for a good balance of offense and defense, but the Switchbacks came in as known as offensive stalwarts, but not so much on the defensive side, but they've put on a good defensive performance. And you mentioned the yellow cards for the Toros. It was Manley and Amo who picked up bookings, and then Zandy for Colorado Springs in that first half. And then another stat here is the fouls. 10 on the Toros, 7 on Colorado Springs. 5 corner kicks for the Toros, none for the Switchbacks so far. So that's another indicator of the aggressiveness of the Toros. They're winning opportunities more often than the Switchbacks.
And I think that time possession also tells us something very interesting, and that means, because it feels like the Toros have really been the aggressor and the one really in control of what's happening. So for the Switchbacks to have the advantage of time possession, what that tells me is the Toros are not only aggressive, but they're moving the ball quickly, and they're continuing to apply that pressure, not standing over the ball, but continuing to drive and push and strike.
And we were talking about the the bookings and the fouls. Both these teams among the league leaders when it comes to bookings. Colorado Springs is 3rd in the USL with 60 yellow cards, and in fact they lead the league with 6 red cards. Toros are 5th in the league with 58 bookings. And in case you're interested, the New York Red Bulls, number 2, lead the USL Championship with 67 bookings this season.
It's a spectacular stat to think about. And that has run true in this one. Both teams have been very aggressive, especially on the defensive side. And you're seeing that, a lot of kind of gamesmanship going back and forth, jockeying for position, but at the same time going to that line without overstepping. 3 yellows, as we talked about, called in this one. But I think a big part of that, large number of fouls, not a lot of yellows, tells you that the teams are pretty cognizant of how far they can go, how far they can push it without stepping across that line.
What do you think about the job the Toros are doing on Barry? Came in as not only the league leader in goals with 21, but also in shots with 61. I don't think he has a shot yet.
And I think that's a testament not only to what the Toros are doing defensively, but I think the USL as a whole is starting to really kind of understand how you play Haji Berry. And that is you keep a couple of off-colored kits around him. You keep somebody close to him, and if he touches the ball, you surround him. Force him to feed his teammates. And I think that was a difference you saw here in the first half for the Switchback. Without Galena, who has done such a great job all year of feeding the ball to Barry, the Switchbacks just have not had somebody that can hit Barry in stride and allow him to work through those traps.
And we see a substitute here for the Switchbacks. This is Deshane Beckford coming in at forward in place of Sebastian Anderson. And Beckford, quite a player, has 3 goals, 6 assists, 36 shots he's had. He's third on the team and among the league leaders, probably around the top 15 or so in the league. So Beckford in there maybe to provide a little bit of offensive spark in this second half for the Switchbacks. Now underway, teams have switched in. So the Toros in the blue, white, and orange, now going from right to left, and the Switchbacks from left to right. And the Toros have won a throw-in here.
And a really deep throw, and this is a spot where the Toros have been known to kind of play that soft and then try to chip something back in toward the middle. But that's a great job defensively by the Switchbacks, kind of keeping a body in a good spot to apply pressure and not give the Toros the chip they were looking for.
Hodge was able to clear it for the Switchbacks, but the Toros have regained possession. Ikaza bounces it to Sorto, who will send it to Asokar, and Asokar has it knocked away from him by Zandi. I think they're going to say last touched by Asokar. So a throw in here for the Switchbacks. They quickly work it upfield. Cabezas there to send it right back. Now, last time these two teams played here at HEB Park, it was 1-1 at halftime, and the Switchbacks exploded in the second half. I think Barry had 2 goals, and they ended up with 4 second-half goals for a 5-2 victory. So Toros, a long way to go yet if they want to put this one in the win column.
And that's a lesson a lot of teams in the USL have learned against the Switchbacks. You cannot lay back and just allow them to control, because they can score, and they can score in bunches.
Here's still Beckford playing the ball. He's 23 years old from Jamaica. Nice little move there to get by Jay. Avoids the sliding tackle attempt by Flores and loses it out of play, so it'll be a Toros throw-in.
Well, Beckford showing some really nice dribbling ability there, just working around Toros. Able to drive that ball forward and put his team in a really nice spot.
Long throw in there by Jay. Doesn't come to anything as the Switchbacks win possession. This is Hodge at the center back. We'll find Zandi on the left side. Ikaza giving him fits. Ikaza, the former Austin Bold player, playing just his 3rd game as a Toro. Ball sent out of play there by Lopez. For Lopez, it's his 3rd game as well. He just came over from the Oklahoma City Energy. Mayaka will play this back. This is a little bit dangerous as Amo closing in. Ockford deftly moves around him and able to slide it into safety to his right back. There's Beckford. Through ball attempt stolen by Dispay. The ball cleared out by the Toros, trying to get it to Amo. There's a 2-on-2 opportunity here. Amo against Ockford. And that ball kicked away there by Hodge. So they're trying to get it over to Lopez. Oh, a nice acrobatic move there by Derek. Forced to come out of his area, could not use the hands.
And that shows you just how quick these Switchbacks can build a counter. It looked like the Toros were going to get a good look on goal. Defensively, Ockford comes forward, breaks that up, and before you know it, the Switchbacks are in position to put another strike on net.
They're ever so dangerous. Second leading scoring team in the league. Here's Among standing up, sends it into the middle, still loose, and a score. Switchbacks appear to have tied it. Offsides flag is down, and the Switchbacks have equalized here in the early going of the second half. We're all tied at 1.
Well, we talked about it. This is a Switchback team that is dynamic offensively. And look at this. Bouncing ball in the net. great job of going through contact, getting that back in towards center. Among gets that in, ball bouncing around. And I think that's Haji Berry cleaning up the rebound right in front of the net. These switchbacks, they can score. They can score in bunches. Soft touch, and Berry right in front of Derek just chips that around his outstretched hand.
Yeah, Among with the assist. And Berry, his 22nd goal of the season. Far and away the league leader, and now just 3 away from equaling the USL Championship single game record, which he would just need 4 goals in his remaining 8 games to be able to break that record. Easily doable by someone of his prowess. Here's Beckford with it. All tied at 1 now, early second half. Here's another through ball attempt, and Derek forced to come way out for that one as Lewis was on top of it. And boy, Derek has been very busy here tonight.
Remaining very aggressive, and you see it there. He was the only one that can make a play on that. Haji Berry had worked through the defense and was in a perfect spot. Derek comes out and says, I have got to clear this away. He does a great job of doing so.
Now we got a Toro player shaken up as the ball has gone out for a corner kick. Looks like Dispay over there as we see the replay here.
A little collision just kind of goes riding into that right leg. So he was kind of one-on-one there with Beckford. Beckford, remember, just checked in here in the second half. And he's already done a nice job of changing this offensive dynamic for the Switchbacks. He's aggressive, he's pushing, he's moving. Soft touch from Berry puts him in a good spot to challenge there in the corner.
Yeah, Berry, his 22nd goal, and for Among, his 2nd assist this year. See, Dispay looks like he's going to stay out there. Dispay from Havana, Cuba. And here's the corner kick, headed by the Toros, out of play. I think that was Dispay who got his head up on that. And he'll concede a second corner.
Another trip out to the true fit corner. Second time the Switchbacks will have that opportunity here in the second half. Would appear Jose Torres will take this.
Yeah, Torres taking most of their set pieces here tonight. 33 years old. Send this into the area and headed out by Asokar. They were trying to get it to Mahoney. Mahoney will throw it in. Mayaka with it. Mayaka will send it forward. Nice little touch there by Zandi. But the defender Dispay there once again to kick it away, and the Toros have it back. Amo to midfield. That's Frank Lopez dispossessed by Berry, who gets it to Among's foot. Among trying to work his way into the area, has it kicked away at the last moment. That's Dispay. Once again, Dispay just making plays left and right here.
Among continuing to be just extremely aggressive. And look at that again. Through all of that contact the Toros are bringing forth, what does Among do? He just battles through. Look at this. He's got Jay right on top of him. Dispay's on top of him. And somehow he just continues to find ways to work through and keep the pressure.
Yeah, I like Among's aggressiveness. Just I hate players who will, as soon as they're touched, will flop down. You know, he's one of those, no, I'm going to stay up. I'm going to try to get this goal. Torres to take this corner for the 3rd time here in the second half. Toros pop it up in the air. Ikaza able to boot it out. And Mayaka able to settle that one. Switchbacks controlling the action here in this early part of the second half. Haven't seen an attack yet by the Toros. Ikaza with the throw in. Sorto able to chest it down. Gets it to Amo. And then Amo is tripped up and wins a free kick here for the Toros.
So Amo and Torres once again. That's been kind of one of the matchups to watch in this one. Once again, Amo has the ball at his feet, tries to come wide. Little trip up there from Torres. He just kind of looks. He knows what happened there. Kind of shakes his head. Amo has that defense all shaken up throughout the year, and you see it again right there. Torres just did not see that directional attack coming.
Torres, by the way, from Longview, Texas, the same place where Matthew McConaughey grew up, as this free kick will go out of play.
Once again, act now in
It'll
partnership
be a
with the
goal
League of
kick
Women
here for the
Voters, and
Switchbacks.
the court are still registering voters until 9 p.m.
Jay tried to settle that. It was too heavy, and Lewis able to take it from him. Now Lewis knocked down, and this is going to be a yellow card against Dispe. Or no, it's going to be against Cabezas.
Get another look at it right here. Nice job of just pushing the ball down and driving it forward.
Boy, it didn't look like much of a touch there. Certainly not look-worthy.
That's the disadvantage when you're a defensive player. When you're trailing from behind and something happens to the forward-facing offensive player, you don't typically get the call in your favor.
You can see Cabezas there running behind him. Their feet just got tangled, and then Lewis went to the ground. So Torres will take this free kick. Torres just 5'5", 135 pounds, 33 years old. One of the veteran leaders out there, sends this into the area, and Derek comes out, punches it away. Ikaza able to boot it out of clearance. And we've got some players down in the penalty area.
It's like Carter Manley and Matt Mahoney.
Yeah, Mahoney has gotten up. We'll take another look at it. See, Derek just came crashing in there like a wrecking ball.
Chance to win 50% of tonight's jackpot. Please advise that donations will stop at the 65th minute. The
Manley
winner
may
will be
have
announced
gotten
at
the worst of it.
Find a seller in the lime green vest to get your tickets.
And it's always the danger when you've got that ball just outside the box. It's in a place where the keeper needs to attack. He has to attack. We saw earlier on what happens if you let that ball just bounce around right outside of the box is you're going to end up with, especially from a team like the Switchbacks that can move that ball around and get some of those directional attacks into the back of the net. So you love the aggression there by Tyler Derrick. Come forward, get in the mix, punch that one away.
Yeah, Carter Manley tonight, he's been a busy player for the Toros this year. Played in his 23rd game, made his 18th start. Has 1 goal, 1 assist. His goal came against the El Paso Locomotive back on June 30th. It's a 3-2 win for the Toros at the time, and they were in first place at that time as well, but they haven't won here at home since then.
You see there, they're going to send Manley off. He'll have to be on the sideline to restart. He tried to point to the opposing sideline and say, well, I'm the right back. Can I just go over here to the right side? And they say, no, you need to go stand over there with the 4th official.
So Carter Manley from Elk Ridge, Maryland, is 25 years old. He's rock solid at 5'11", 170 pounds.
Get a little hydration in the process. He makes that slow, lonely walk over to the 4th official.
Yeah, we haven't seen a hydration break here tonight. We've had hydration breaks in the past. We might get one here in the second half. It was pretty hot earlier today, as it usually is this time of year in South Texas. Back to action now. Derek elects to pick the ball up. It'll just boot it up to midfield.
Really smart move there by Tyler Derrick as well. Manley's got to cover quite a bit of green grass to get into position. So Derrick just a little slow to pick that up, give his teammates some time to cover that space and get back into position.
Yeah, you're right. Inexperienced keepers can sometimes put the ball in play a little too soon. Their players haven't had a chance to spread out yet and get into open space. Can result in a quick turnover. We see the Toros winning a second throw in right here. So they creep a little closer to the Switchbacks box. Sorto with it here. Marked by Zandi. Sorto trying to get turned. Now works it to Ikaza. Casa, the goal scorer, has it kicked away from him. Here's Cabezas, a nice little through ball, but too much for Sorto. And that'll be a goal kick for the Switchbacks.
Look, it's a good decision by the Toros. You've had a little bit of success here against Colorado Springs by being able to kind of work the give and go. You see it again there, but and what more can we say about this defense for the Switchbacks? They've done a really nice job of just responding to a lot of the aggressive contact from the Toros and continuing to stand strong on that back line.
See some young fans there enjoying the Toros game. I think they see themselves up on the Jumbotron. Having a big time here at HEB Park. Toros, meanwhile, with the throw in. Here's Amo. Plays it back to Ikaza, trying to work it over to the wide side of the field. Here's Babacar Jay, caught it in stride. Beckford all over him and then ends up tripping Jay. And this is going to be a free kick here for the Toros. Jay shaken up just a bit. Mentioned he was from Gambia. Going up against Beckford.
Just gets tripped up by Beckford. And the spot on this is actually really interesting because this is essentially a corner for the Toros, as close as they are to that spot. So what does Coach Cabrera have in the book for his team? What can they do to build an attack off of this really interesting spot in the far corner?
Looks like it'll be Asokar to take the free kick. We saw him with a really good look in the late first half. And from this angle, it looks like he could put an in-swinger in toward the net. That would force Melvin to have to come out and play it. Here's the kick in toward the net area and punched out there by Melvin. Really good save there by Melvin, but not out of the woods yet as Ikaza will play this back. Now it's going to be sent into the net area again. A turnaround by Lopez. His center ball is kicked out. Sliding tackle there by Dispe. Trying to keep the Toros attack alive here. Now Dispe with it. Oh, a back heel by Amo. Here's Sorto. Sorto trying to find some space. Has to work it back. Now Ikaza will go to the right side. This is Frank Lopez. Lopez able to center it, but it's kicked out by Hodge, and they'll concede the corner.
And that was a great turn of events defensively for Colorado Springs. The Toros had 3 or 4 really good looks at putting an attack on net. Ockford, Hodge, Lewis, all coming up really big. They're staying in the passing lanes, keeping the Toros in front of them and limiting their opportunities before just ultimately clearing that away and giving yourselves a chance to take a breath.
And Melvin, a great save there. He's able to punch it away as it was going to the high corner. Ikaza with the corner kick here. Headed out by the Switchbacks. Headed again by Among. Among trying to maintain his balance. He's able to actually get back up, and now is pulled down. And the yellow card is out. I think this will be on Sorto. Now the player's kind of getting into it a bit. They need to be careful.
We're going to get some cards out of this.
Yeah, the referee is right there. I saw somebody threw a punch that missed, fortunately. Now cooler heads starting to prevail.
Gotta love the veteran leadership there. You saw Elvis Amo for UTRGV kind of get in there, start getting separation. DSP doing a nice job here, trying to keep cooler heads prevailing.
Yeah, and Barry, seems upset about something. He needs to be careful. He's definitely not helping his team if he has sent to the bench.
That's a sign of a good teammate, somebody that's willing to step into a really heated situation and try to cool everyone down. And the other side for Colorado Springs, gives some credit to Zandy. Lewis is in there as well, kind of hugging some teammates, talking things through.
As you can see Among and Manley there dueling for the ball. Look at Among's hustle as he spun all the way to the ground, then was pulled down by Sorto. And I think that resulted in a yellow. I'm not sure exactly what led to the hot feelings. Well, there we see a shove there by Mayaka on Asuka. And that's what kind of got everything started. There's the two captains. What do you think the referee's telling them at this point?
Well, this has been a very physical game back and forth. This is a good time to sit down with both captains and say, I know a lot of things are occurring out here, but we've got to keep things civil. We've got to keep things calm. You see the referee there turning to both sides, those up and down hands, a chance to really just kind of talk things through. No matter what happens, it's still just a game. We're here to have fun. What a privilege we all have to work around sports.
Indeed, and probably a warning too that if I see this again, it's gonna be some people are gonna get sent off. It is a free kick here for the Switchbacks because of the foul on Sorto. Coach Cabrera.
Well, he's making his argument. There was more than words exchanged there for a moment, so he's probably looking for more than just admonishment to occur off of that.
And we talked about how these two teams came in among the top 5 in bookings. There's been a fair number here tonight. There's Beckford with it. Lost it to Jay. Jay trying to get turned, and now he'll get it to Cabezas. Cabezas trying to lift the ball downfield, but not high enough. It's intercepted by Mahoney. Now it bounces back to Ockford. Long pass intended for Lewis. Lewis able to get like a shoulder on it or a part of his head, but then loses control. Manley sends it back to Derek.
I'm actually going to say there's a foul prior to that.
Yeah, I think I say Lewis with the foul. So free kick here. That's the 10 fouls now on the Switchbacks, 12 on the Toros. About 2/3 of the way through the match. It's Ockford kicking that upfield. And Switchbacks with control here. Oh, nice intercept there by Jay. The Toros trying to counter. Work it to Cabezas. Nice ball there. This is Sorto with some room. Oh, there's a center ball kicked out by the Switchbacks. Lewis with control, and Hill fired upfield.
Seen a lot of really nice heel touches for the Toros here. Yet to find one of those building a spot, but that's got to really change the way the Switchbacks are kind of building their defense. You got to keep your eye not only on that forward and the through pass, but watch for that heel touch.
Hodge able to work the ball away from Asukar, and now Hodge shaken up as the ball goes out of play. Tristan Hodge from Trinidad and Tobago, 26 years old. We have a stalwart on that back line for the Switchbacks. They're going to call for the trainer. Score is 1-1. The Toros' Icaza scoring his first goal as a Toro in the 26th minute. The assist to Andres Flores. And then the Switchbacks equalize in the 49th minute with a goal-mouth scramble that Barry was able to punch home for his league-leading 22nd goal of the year. Among with the assist on that one. So they're going to look at Hodge here. Earlier tonight, we talked about how the Toros held that all-time shutout record, 759 minutes. It was broken tonight, 5-year-old record. So congrats to the Tampa Bay Rowdies against Atlanta United 2. Were able to carry their shutout well into the second half and break the record. They had entered tonight with 711 shutout minutes.
And they'll now be at 801. So they own that record by basically 42 minutes now.
Wow. And I guess they got the shutout tonight against Atlanta United.
They did 2-0.
And that's I believe, their 13th shutout of the season. Far and away the most of any team. I think the next highest is 8 shutouts, but 13 clean sheets for Tampa Bay this season. They're the number 1 ranked team in the USL rankings. And kind of a dogfight with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in that Atlantic division. We can see another substitute here for the Switchbacks. This looks like Zandy will come out. They're going to bring in a couple of players.
One of them will be Mike Edwards, that 6'3" defender out of Virginia.
Oh, and Dylan Cerna will be coming in. I think this is going to be his first appearance as a Switchback.
He'll get some big minutes, it looks like, here in the second half as we approach the 70th minute. Still knotted at 1-1. I think this is a good move by Brendan Burke as well to get some fresh legs out there, because these teams have been racing up and down the pitch thus far. Fresh legs may give you some extra jump.
Yeah, Mike Edwards, a defender from Virginia, just 20 years old. And throw in for the Toros as we're back to action now. Here's Amo. Leads the team with 8 goals, but hasn't got a real good look here tonight. Here's Jay. Jay's going to give it a go. That's going to be too high. It'll be a goal kick for the Switchbacks. I think Amo was able to get a glancing header off a corner kick back in the first half. That was wide of the net. And that's been the closest he's come to getting into the scorebooks here tonight.
The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, and employees. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forwardforever-proud.
Long pass by D-Spay to break up the Switchbacks attack. Asokara now with it, moving forward aggressively as it kicked away by Mahoney. This will be actually it went off of Asokara, so the Switchbacks get the throw in. Mahoney, by the way, from Buffalo, New York. He scored against the Toros last week in that 1-1 draw. And that might be another reason why we've seen some chippiness, Brian, is because these teams are pretty familiar with each other.
This will be the third time they faced each other this season. You know, the Toros are not going to forget that 5-2 loss earlier this year. Good result to come back for the 1-1 draw last time out.
Switchbacks, another throw in here in the 72nd minute. All tied at 1. Goals by Ikaza for the Toros and Barry for the Switchbacks. Third time this year that Barry has scored against the Toros. It's Flores able to slide this over to Amo, and Amo with a lot of space to work with. Motors into the penalty area, will shoot, and it's going to be just wide. Went with his left foot, which I think is his weaker foot.
Still got a pretty good drive off of that being his left foot. And don't underestimate the difficulty that comes from trying to make a strike at a full sprint with a defender closing down on you.
Yeah, Amo from Ghana, West Africa. Here's Jay winning the ball back, another West African. Flores slides it to Sorto, and Sorto gives it a go from way downtown. That'll go wide.
Here in the second half, the Toros breaking out their binoculars, not afraid to take these long strikes, not quite dialed in enough to put those on net. But again, it forces the Switchbacks to come out defensively. And when you're trying to challenge and defend 10, 15, 20 feet outside of the box, it can create some really nice opportunities on rebounds in the box. But the Toros have to get that down and allow the rebound to build.
Yeah, Sorto from Silver Springs, Maryland. Yes, I think that's what sometimes people wonder, why are they shooting from so far out? Well, you may not necessarily be trying to score necessarily as create an opportunity, forcing the keeper to give up a rebound. You know, your teammates will crash the net when they see a shooter like that. As the Toros break up another attack here, is Jay with it. Slides it forward, open man. So Flores with it, able to send it forward. Amo in the box, has space. Mayaka intercepts and fires it downfield. So Cabezas with it. Trying to work something give and go with Amo, but Amo unable to get turned. Good defending there by the Switchbacks. That was Toros and Edwards. Ikaza trying to keep it in play, but scooped up by Melvin.
really impressed with this defense for Colorado Springs here in the second half. Toros continuing to press. Mike Edwards, fresh legs. Barely had a chance to get warmed up yet, and he finds himself kind of one-on-one there with Elvis Amo. Gotta love the effort.
Yeah, one-on-one with the top goal scorer from the other team. It was a tough situation. Cabezas kicks it away from Among. But they're going to award a free kick here to the Switchbacks. And 23 fouls in this game, 13 on the Toros, 10 on the Colorado Springs. So you see it again. Among, he's good at drawing fouls, isn't he, with his aggressive play?
And he just takes contact really well. Talked about it a couple times tonight, but it's just not something you see a lot. Are players that are willing to play through contact and continue to push, continue to press.
A through ball goes all the way to Derek. I think they were trying to get Barry cutting toward the net, but a bit of a miscommunication. And Derek will slide this one over to the left. Ama with a little back heel to Jay. Toros working it into open space. Cabezas will reverse the attack to the right side. Lobbed in by Ikaza to Asokar. Has two markers. Able to send it into the area and then kicked out of there by Mayaka. Good move there by Mayaka to volley that out of danger.
Great read defensively for Colorado Springs. The Toros reversing field, sending that all the way to the far side and then centering it back in. The Switchbacks doing a nice job of reading that all the way, not over pursuing, staying within that schematic that they had set out there on the pitch. And because of that great job of bending, not breaking, they're there to clear it away.
Flores on the corner kick. Bispe mistimes his jump. He's down. Here's Asokar trying to control. Barry steals it from him. And now Sorto heads it toward his teammate Manley. Asokar able to rework the attack. They try to slide it forward to Sorto, but Barry is there. And now Mayaka with it. Oh, stolen back by the Toros. Here's Ikaza. Ikaza trying to, he was looking at the goal, didn't have a shot. Here's Flores, he'll send it toward the net. Nobody there at the far post, however. Switchbacks seem to be dodging more bullets like they're trapped in the matrix here. Toros again. Here's Lopez, breaks free. And the ball sent out of play off the defender, Mayaka. And I think they're going to say it was actually ricocheted back off Ikaza. Or Lopez, rather. You see Lopez down right there.
The Toros remaining aggressive. I think we may be at a point now where you look for the Toros to not be quite so unselfish. Just start laying into that ball and driving it forward. The Toros still trying to kind of work the ball back and forth. Some really short, crisp passing in the box.
Yeah, the Toros had 9 shots at halftime. They only have 4 here in the second half.
And there's something to be said for, you know, having that dynamic and being able to send it around in the box and look for good angles. But the way the Switchbacks have just been so dynamic of jumping into those passing lanes and breaking up those passes. You look for a player now like Elvis Amo, maybe Christian Sorto, just to step up big now and kind of try to take over and drive that ball forward.
Here's a chance here for the Toros. They slide it over. Sorto, keeper coming out. Sorto goes down. And the referee calls for a corner kick. There's an appeal for penalty kick here. Referee says no. Toros is down. So the Toros get a nice turnover there real quickly.
Yeah, nice placement by Flores as well to feed Sorto. And see, the argument that Toros and Sorto try to make here is they say that Torres took that ball off of Sorto's feet. The harder contact you saw was coming there between Melvin and Sorto. Melvin can do that, though. He's the keeper.
Here's another corner kick. Switchbacks kick this out. Appeal for handball is denied. Toros maintain possession. Manley's going to send it back, reversing the attack to the left side. Flores tried a header, couldn't quite get to it. Headed out by Torres. We haven't seen a sub yet from the Toros. Well, now we're going to see one.
And a big one, Vicente Sanchez. No player more experienced across the USL than Vicente Sanchez, the 41-year-old Uruguayan. This is about the time you typically see him for the Toros. He is crafty, and he gives them a whole different look offensively because he can just flat work through a defense.
It looks like Among is going to come off as well.
He's replaced by Yaya Torre. Not that Yaya Torre.
I'm sure some fans are wondering, but yeah, this Yaya Torre has 3 goals. He's only 17 years old from Guinea. And I think scored a goal against the Toros here at HEB Park. He was a late sub in that game and was able to score. And we mentioned scorers. Vicente Sanchez, his last goal that he scored this season was here where they send it forward into the area. That's Beckford, slides it. It's kicked out by the Toros. Beckford regains control, beats one marker, sends it in, and Derek there to smother that one. Golden opportunity there for the Switchbacks.
Spectacular defense for the Toros. Nice job of continuing to stay aggressive there for Tyler Derrick. He overcommitted on one of those plays because he had to. His backline defense really helped him out.
Beckford in the middle and a goal for the Switchbacks. Switchbacks take the lead late here, and it's Barry once again.
Haji Berry can flat score, and you've seen it twice here already this evening. They love to distribute to him, and once again, all the pressure back on the Toros' feet. And what happens? Look at Torres. Sends that one forward. Beckford, reminiscent of what we saw just a few moments earlier when the Switchbacks nearly put one in the net. They push that same play forward again, and that time they squeeze it through, and Haji Berry's just right there to clean it up.
Terrific goal there, and Beckford, a great job being aggressive there on the right wing, able to fire that one in there, and perfect timing with Berry. Able to time his run perfectly, and just a screamer from point-blank range. Nothing Derek could have done. And it's a 2-1 lead now for Colorado Springs. Toros have had the majority of attacks, but Colorado Springs has handled things better here in this second half. They trailed 1-0 at the break, now lead by 2-1. About 10 minutes to play. Here's Sanchez, just came onto the pitch. Over to Sorto. Gonna lob it into the area. Almo tried for the header, a little too high for him. And the Switchbacks back on the move. I was gonna say Sanchez, the last time he scored was against this Colorado Springs team. Back in August 14th here at HEB Park. Jay winning the ball from Beckford. And Toros back on the move as Cabezas will send this one downfield. Melvin coming out and is able to slide onto that one and keep himself, or at least keep the ball inside the box so that he wouldn't get called for a handball. Sanchez was closing in.
It was a great job of reading there from Vicente Sanchez as well. Does a really good job of staying on side as that pass. He was off to the races, 41-year-old showing he's still got some wheels. But Melvin, as you said, great job of coming out and staying aggressive and breaking that up.
Toros control it on their back line. Some aggressive play there by Lewis. And now they're able to work it upfield.
Going for the W. Starting next spring, the USLW League provides increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer, both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the Championship, League One, League Two, and new expansion markets, the W League is set to begin play in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to USLWleague.com to learn more.
Throw in for the Switchbacks. About 6 minutes and change remaining. Asokad has it kicked away from him by Barry. Barry with 2 goals tonight gives him 23 for the year. 2 away from the league record. Beckford here in the box, able to center this one, but cleared out by Asokad. And then Sanchez trying to control near the sideline, loses it out of play. It'll be, we're going to say, a Toros throw in. Another substitution being made here. And we're going to see Rodrigo Lopez come in.
Substitution
Replace Andres Flores.
Number 13, Andres Flores.
Lots of experience coming out onto the pitch for the Toros as you get Lopez and Sanchez substitutions here in the second half.
We're going to see Wen Kuzain come in for Christian Sorto.
Christian Sorto for number 21.
And James Murphy.
Juan Kuzain.
James Murphy coming in. By the way, those two players who just came in, Murphy right there from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, and Wen Kuzain, who's from Illinois. Both of them just had birthdays this past week. In fact, Murphy celebrated his 24th birthday yesterday, and Kuzain turned 23 earlier this week. Well, happy belated to both those gentlemen. Toros looking for an equalizer here late as Lewis controls. Slides it over to the left side. Two markers converge. Ball still loose in the area, but it squeezes over to Lopez, who just came onto the pitch. And Lopez, who's a good playmaker, leads the team with 45 chances created. In fact, he's 7th in the league in chances created. Coming out there for the last few minutes to hopefully get the equalizer here for the Toros. And Murphy, who leads the team with 5 assists along with Lopez, will slide it over to Sanchez. So a lot of subs here late for the Toros as they try to get that equalizer. All of them the offensive variety as Murphy sends this one deep to the left side, and then it's misplayed by Lopez, who kind of waves an apology back to Murphy. It was a good opportunity there, and it'll be a goal kick.
A chance to leave nothing out there on the pitch for the Toros. You got to kind of go for broke offensively now. If you give up another goal, that doesn't really affect what's happening here. What you need to do is score by bringing in some dynamic scorers and some players that have had significant number of starts for the Toros in this one, in Lopez and Kuzain and Murphy, giving your team a chance to have some of those players that have had some significant experience in 2021 out there on the pitch and see if they can give you a little energy boost here to get the equalizer.
Here's Wan Kuzain using that speed, just came on. Here's Sanchez now in the box. Moves forward, creates space, tried to cross it. It's blocked in front. Sanchez still on top of it. Now Murphy sends it into the box. Header by Amo is going to be wide.
Yeah, Amo just could not get turned properly to put a clean head on that. Had a defender right on his hip. But Sanchez trying to work through. That one's headed away by the Switchbacks.
Yeah, I think Ockford got to it.
Look at this right here. Amo was trying to turn. Nice job by Mahoney, kind of right there behind him. And so Amo couldn't really get turned to drive that toward goal. Did a good job of getting a head on it, but it floats wide right.
Of course, Amo stands 6'2". He's able to win a lot of those crosses and redirect them. Ever dangerous on the corner kicks as well. Yeah, Lopez able to settle that one down for Murphy. Now they're going to play advantage here for the Toros. Though a player went down, they get it to Sanchez with some space. Sanchez moves in, shoots, and it's right to the keeper. Melvin able to smother that one. Third save of the night for Melvin.
No Beck and the trainer out to take a look at the downed switchback. See Sanchez again, they're working through him since he's come back in. Got a little bit of lane to work with there, so he takes a shot. Melvin, as you said, nice job of coming out and cutting that angle off and just picking it up. Switchbacks up 2-1. What a second half we've seen from Colorado Springs in this one. They've remained aggressive, been able to pick up some bouncing balls just outside the net and drive them home. Both goals by Haji Berry.
Yeah, he is something else. I mean, remember the first half, he didn't get even a look. He would draw 2 defenders, sometimes 3, and then able to create 2 goals. One a goal-mouth scramble, and then the other one a picture-perfect pass from Beckford. He shot into the net like a rocket. We've got a kind of a hydration break going on here now as they look at the injured switchback. Sanchez, by the way, came in with 17 shots. Has been used mostly as a substitute this year in the late going to try to spark some offense. And in fact, the Toros, known for being able to produce offense late, of their 19 second half goals, 11 have come after the 65th minute, with 3 or 4 in the last 5 minutes. You're going to see another substitute here.
Jose Torres is going to come out. He was the down player for the Switchbacks. He'll be replaced by Beverly Makangila.
He's from Congo, 21 years old, midfielder. And that's the last substitute for the Switchbacks. Toros still have 1. Makangila, no goals or assists this year. 21 years old. Now to be Melvin to put the ball in play for the Switchbacks. This will go out to be a Toros throw-in. We're in the 90th minute now. We'll see how much time gets added on as the Toros looking for an equalizer. Down 2-1 here at HEB Park. Derek plays this upfield. It's going to be 6 minutes of added time.
6 minutes additional.
Had several injuries here in this second half and substitutes. And Ikaza is going to fire this one ahead. Asokata trying to run onto that one. He does, gets there in time, and it's bounced out of play by Serna. So this will be another corner kick here for the Toros. This will be their 9th of the game. And they'll bring everybody forward for this one. It's going to be Vicente Sanchez to take this kick.
Keep an eye out there on DSP. Keep an eye on Amo. Tallest players for the Toros in a good position to put headers.
7 in the box as they send this in, and it's punched out there by the keeper. Out to Asokata. He'll slide it back to Sanchez for another cross attempt. Here, that one comes in toward the far post. Amo unable to get a piece of that one, and it went off a defender, and it's going to be another corner kick.
Yeah, Amo trying to make the argument that there was potentially a handball there on Mahoney. Instead, just remain a corner.
Here's the corner kick, is knocked down in front. Beckford with it and it's cleared out by the defender, Mayaka. Toros trying to generate another attack here. Really pouring it on late here in stoppage time, trying to get that equalizer. Manley will send this one into the box. And there's a header at the net and a diving save made by Melvin.
Spectacular job by Melvin, reading that through the air, flying through the air and able to pick that up before a Toro can get into a position to pick up the rebound. Take another look at this right here. Placed really well, and Melvin pounces.
Ikaza with the header there. Almost had his second goal of the night. Might have been heading toward the post, but Melvin, of course, taking no chances. Went to full stretch to grab that one. Didn't give up a rebound either as Amo was standing there ready to pounce. Toros, another chance here. Just kicked away by Edwards. Oh, a nice little bicycle kick to work it upfield. That was by Serna. And now Sanchez is down. He's won a free kick for the Toros. Ockford arguing the call, but it's going to be a Toros free kick in a dangerous position here.
We'll draw the line right there. The Toros get a really nice look here. It's Rodrigo Lopez standing over the ball right now. A lot of experience you see standing over the ball for the Toros. Lopez and Sanchez. What can they draw?
Lopez is 34, Sanchez 41. In fact, the oldest player in league history to score a goal, and he scored 2 of them this year. So it's Sanchez a little further away, Lopez closer to the camera. And Lopez is going to step away now. It looks like it'll be Sanchez to take this one. Little chip into the box. A header just wide as Dispe was able to get a redirect on it, but not able to put it on net. 17 shots now for the Toros in this game.
Really nice placement here by Vicente Sanchez. DSP had a couple of players on him. Mike Edwards does a nice job of establishing possession, preventing DSP from driving back toward the net to get a better look on that header.
DSP stands 6'3", So came up from his back line to try to get a touch off that corner. Toros have had 10 corner kicks in the game and 17 shots. 5 shots on net, but 4 saves made tonight by Melvin. 2 of them very, very good saves. Both times had to go to full stretch, one to punch it away from the upper 90. And that last one we saw a moment ago. As Amo sends this one into the middle, Serna able to intercept. And he'll fire it into safety downfield. Derek has come way out. Trying to get it to the speeding Yaya Torre. Another long ball. Torre will come after that one. Manley's there first. Now Derek works it upfield. Oh, a quick turnover here. Torre trying to work something up against Manley. Has Murphy in there joining him. They grab Barry's jersey. Play continues. And then Manley is going to fire it upfield. Kuzain able to chest it over to Murphy, and Lopez will send it upfield. Nice little header there by Amo, with the defense on top of that one. Offside the call, though.
Vicente Sanchez continue to try to work forward. Said the sheer experience he has as we approach just the final seconds of this one. Lopez broke perhaps just a second or two too quickly and allowed for the offside, and now Colorado Springs on the verge of picking up huge 3 points if they can hold on.
Manley heads this one backwards. Torre is there. Of course, the Switchbacks playing with house money at this point. There's a back heel by Lewis. Akangila tried to get control of it, and Murphy does for the Toros. Serna fires it back, and this will be a goal kick here for the Toros. They've got to go the length of the field in just a few seconds. We're actually past the 6-minute mark. Amo able to, with a flick header, Edwards fires it over into safety to kick it away from Sanchez. Hussein hustles over. Now Ikaza. We need to send it goalward. Here's Jay with it. Now to the left side. This is Lopez going to send it into the box. Amo unable to get turned. Murphy tried to fire away, but Lewis was there first. And that's going to be it. That will be it. Colorado Springs holds on, and they win this game 2-1. A gritty win for the Switchbacks, who trailed 1-0 at the half. 2 second-half goals by Barry, the league's leading scorer, and they win it by a score of 2-1. So, man of the match, Brian?
Yeah, Haji Barry, just a spectacular performance. 2 goals in this one. Huge moment for Barry. Held without very many looks in the first half, but he made the most of what he had there in the second half. 2 big points. He continues to tick his way toward the USL record for goals in a season, now just 2 away.
Yeah, just 2 away from that with 8 games to play. Should become the league's all-time single-season goal scorer later this year. So final score is 2-1 Colorado Springs. We've got some highlights and some stats coming up for you in just a moment. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
creating more jobs,
and more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
And we're back here at HEB Park. Toros now winless in 8 matches. They picked up 3 draws but have 5 losses after coming into this match with 2 straight draws. Now pick up the loss here tonight. And for Colorado Springs, they are now have won 3 of their last 6 outings, picking up 11 points in that span. And let's take a look at the highlights for these two teams. And Brian, take us through it.
He's just the opening goal of this one. Yakaza on a beautiful pass, works through the defense, gets a good strike here. Another good look at this goal. That had the Toros really in control, but the second half was really a favor of Colorado Springs. Take a look here as it continues. There's Haji Berry slipping forward on the rebound, puts that one in, gives some credit to Among, makes this happen, working through contact, quick touch. Berry once again. That pulled this match even at 1-1. Didn't stay that way very long, though, as once again, Beckford over to Berry. Berry, second goal of the match. And look at the placement here. Beckford just on the mark, and Haji Berry, nothing but sweet. Toros had a couple chances in the second half. Looking forward here, Christian Sorto had that one taken right off his foot. Another opportunity here for the Toros. Yakaza had a good head, but Melvin leaping out to keep that one leveled up. And that'll do it for the scoring. The 2 goals by Berry, the difference in this one is Colorado Springs, as we said, picks up 3 big points and continues their climb up the standings in the Mountain Division.
And Berry now with 23 goals on the year. Beckford picked up his 7th assist, coming on as a second half sub and setting up the game-winning goal. And looking at our stats for the game, I know in shots it was kind of dominated here by the Toros at 17 shots to just 4 for Colorado Springs, 5 on net for the Toros, 3 for Colorado Springs, but they got 2 of their 3 shots into the goal for the win. Corner kicks 10-3 in favor of the Toros. Fouls, there was 13 on the Toros, 11 on the Switchbacks, and we had 4 yellow cards tonight against the Toros, just 1 for the Switchbacks, and 4 saves by Melvin in the Switchbacks goal, so a good job by him. Next games for these two teams, as we take a look, well, now we've got the official stats here, and you can see the Toros dominating in both shots, but shots on target, pretty even.
Yeah, and then the time of possession, which we said was going to be crucial in this one, the Toros continue to make good progress in that regard, coming just a little bit shy of level, 3 offsides on each side. And I think if you're watching Colorado Springs continue to watch, Haji Berry is dynamic. And think about that scoring percentage there. 5 shots, 3 of which are on goal. When you get more than half of your shots on goal, that shows a team that is just really dialed in tight.
60% there, yeah, for Colorado Springs. Well, next games for these teams, for the Toros, well, let's start with the Switchbacks.
Yes, looking at the Switchbacks, they hit the road for a couple of big ones. Austin Bold coming up on the 25th, and they've got 2 of their next 4 going to be against division leader El Paso Locomotive, mixed in their match against Real Monarchs. So Switchbacks have some major games coming up, and some success here could really strengthen their chances at facing the Toros there on the 16th and their chance of making a strong push toward the end. On the other side for the Toros, a couple of good ones coming up as well. Atlanta United 2, New Mexico United, Real Monarchs, New Mexico United again. And then as we said, the 16th, that could be a huge match. Circle that on your calendar. Toros and Colorado Springs once again as these teams continue to push for one of those 4 playoff spots in the Mountain Division.
So the Toros remain out of the playoff picture at the loss tonight. Switchbacks improve their position as they move up to 38 points in that tussle for second place in the Mountain Division. So the Switchbacks win it here at HEB Park by a final score of 2-1. I'm Mark May for Brian Smith and the rest of our USL broadcast crew. So long from HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.